What's up, football fanatics? The NFL draft is just around the corner. And while we're usually talking about highlight reels and potential fits, this year, with Shedeur Sanders in the mix, we've got a full-blown reality show unfolding right before our eyes. You sent over this article, and it's got all the ingredients for some serious pre-draft fireworks. With Deion Sanders, never one to mince words, accusing an NFL team of straight up lying about his son. The article kicks off with a pretty bizarre scene at the Dallas Cowboys practice facility during the Big 12's joint pro day. As Shedeur Sanders was getting ready for a live interview with NFL Network, the PA system blared out an announcement: Shedeur Sanders would not be working out that day. Now, Shedeur's reaction, caught on camera, was priceless. He looked genuinely surprised, saying he didn't expect to hear his name like that. Turns out, it was a misunderstanding. Shedeur was there to appear and speak with teams, but his highly anticipated throwing session is scheduled for April 4th at Colorado's individual pro day, which Coach Prime expects all 32 NFL teams to attend. But this little hiccup perfectly sets the stage for the constant tug-of-war between debate and correction surrounding Shedeur's draft stock. Or as the Sanders duo put it, hats and lies. The real meat of the story comes when NFL Network starts asking about the pre-draft experience for Shedeur, specifically mentioning the critical reports about his alleged demeanor during NFL scouting combine interviews. These anonymous criticisms have labeled him as arrogant and disconnected. And as you can imagine, those words didn't sit too well with his father, Deion Sanders. When asked about these reports, Coach Prime didn't hesitate for a second. His response? A flat-out, "Now that was a lie." Boom. Straight to the point. No sugarcoating. When asked how he prepared his son for this kind of experience, Deion's response was equally sharp. "You mean the lies or the interviews?" He went on to say that Shedeur is built for the interview process, leaning on his lifetime in the spotlight and his on-field success. But those lies, that's a whole different ballgame for Coach Prime. Deion didn't stop there. He emphasized that they're great with adversity and have always faced naysayers and doubters. He believes Shedeur is the most qualified young man that plays that position that's built for that, and to be in front of the lights and to continuously shine. But then, he dropped a bombshell. With a smile, Deion said, "We like to call that stuff out. Though, I know who it is. You're going to make me call him out. You know what team. Yeah, all right, you gotta understand it. Don't make me pull behind the curtains and step in that thing." Whoa, Coach Prime isn't just dismissing these reports. He's claiming to know the NFL team behind them and is hinting at potentially naming them publicly. That's some serious pre-draft drama right there. NFL Network's Bucky Brooks wisely tried to steer the conversation away from getting petty, suggesting they keep it on the high road. But Deion's hilarious response, "I try to keep it on the high road but I don't know the address," perfectly encapsulates his competitive and outspoken nature. Amidst all this, Shedeur himself offered a more measured perspective. He acknowledged that the journey is definitely a learning experience, and expressed gratitude for his support system, including his father, who went through the same process back in 1989 before being drafted 5th overall by the Atlanta Falcons. Shedeur stated that they've always understood the need to block out the noise, whether it was at Jackson State or Colorado. He added, "There's a lot of critics. There's a lot of hate. But we know what to do. We know how to handle that in every way. So we remain happy. Either you're gonna be watching or you're gonna be talking about it. It's gonna be one of the two. So I'd rather be the one getting talked about than the one just watching." Hating on another guy. That's a pretty mature and confident response from the young quarterback. The pre-draft process is all about teams trying to gather as much information as possible about these young players, both on and off the field. These interviews are a crucial part of that evaluation. If there are legitimate concerns about Shedeur's demeanor or personality, that could certainly impact his draft stock. However, Deion's forceful defense and accusation of lies throws a major wrench into that narrative. It forces everyone to question the source and the motivation behind these critical reports. Is an NFL team trying to intentionally lower Shedeur's stock for their own benefit? Is it just the usual pre-draft smokescreen and gamesmanship? Or are there legitimate concerns about Shedeur's interviews? It's impossible to know for sure at this point. But Deion's willingness to call it out so publicly definitely adds a layer of intrigue to Shedeur's draft journey. Shedeur's talent on the field is undeniable. He's got a strong arm, good accuracy, and has shown the ability to make plays. But questions about his personality and leadership style are something teams will be closely scrutinizing. His individual pro day on April 4th will be a major opportunity for him to showcase his skills and potentially address some of these concerns. This whole situation is a perfect example of why the NFL draft is such a captivating event. You've got high stakes, big personalities, and plenty of drama. Deion Sanders isn't afraid to stir the pot. And his defense of his son has definitely created a buzz around Shedeur's draft prospects. Whether these critical reports are accurate or lies, as Coach Prime claims, remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure. Shedeur Sanders is one of the most intriguing and talked about players in this upcoming draft. What do you make of Deion's accusations? Do you think an NFL team is intentionally trying to spread negative information about Shedeur? How do you think this will ultimately impact his draft stock? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe for more updates and analysis on the NFL draft and all the latest football news. What's up, football fanatics? Get ready for some fireworks in the lead up to the NFL draft. Deion, Coach Prime, Sanders is fiercely defending his quarterback son, Shedeur Sanders, and he's not afraid to call out anyone he thinks is spreading misinformation. Let's dive into this pre-draft Papa Bear moment. As Shedeur was preparing for an interview with NFL Network at the Cowboys practice facility, an announcement went out saying he wouldn't be working out at the Big 12's joint pro day. Shedeur, who was there to speak with teams but not throw, looked a bit surprised by the announcement. His highly anticipated pro day throwing session is scheduled for April 4th at Colorado. This whole situation seems to be a microcosm of Shedeur's draft process, a constant back and forth between information, perception, and, according to the Sanders crew, some good old-fashioned HEATS and lies. During the NFL Network interview, Shedeur acknowledged the journey has been a learning experience, amidst critical reports about his demeanor during combine interviews and fluctuating draft stock. But he remains confident, saying he and his team know how to handle the critics and hate. He'd rather be talked about than be the one just watching and hating. You gotta admire that swagger. Of course, the noise surrounding Shedeur, including anonymous criticisms labeling him as arrogant and disconnected, didn't sit well with his dad. When asked about these reports, Deion didn't mince words. He flat out said, "Now that was a lie." When asked how he prepared Shedeur for this, he quipped, "You mean the lies or the interviews?" Classic Prime. Deion went on to say that Shedeur is built for the interview process, given his lifetime in the spotlight. But the lies were another matter entirely. He emphasized Shedeur's resilience in the face of adversity and his ability to shine under pressure. But Deion wasn't done there. With a smile, he hinted that he knows which NFL team is supposedly spreading these lies, and playfully threatened to call him out if pushed. NFL Network's Bucky Brooks wisely suggested keeping things on the high road, to which Deion hilariously responded, "I try to keep it on the high road, but I don't know the address." This whole situation just adds another layer of intrigue to Shedeur Sanders' draft story. Whether it's HEATS or lies, it's clear he's one of the most talked about players in this upcoming draft. What do you think about Deion's accusations? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more NFL draft drama. We'll see you on the next snap.